What if I told you that one single belief about yourself could literally shape your entire life? We're talking everything from how you handle failure to whether you even reach your full potential. Today, we're going to dive deep into the science of mindset. We'll explore not just what it is, but how you can actually genuinely change it. So let's get into it. All right, let's start with a really direct question for you. And I want you to take a second and honestly think about it. Your intelligence, your talents, your personality, do you think they're just set in stone, or do you believe you can develop them over time? Your answer, believe it or not, puts you into one of two major categories, according to the incredible work of psychologist Carol Dweck. And here they are. On one side, you've got the fixed mindset. This is the belief that your qualities are basically carved in stone. You've got a certain amount of smarts and, well, that's that. But on the other side, you've got the growth mindset. This is the idea that your abilities can be grown, cultivated through your own effort. And this one simple difference is the launching point for, well, pretty much everything. It's not just about which one sounds better. It's about how each belief puts you on a completely different path in life. This quote just illustrates the difference so perfectly. In one of Dweck's studies, they gave 4-year-olds a choice. You can either redo an easy puzzle you already solved, or you can try a much harder one. The kids with a fixed mindset, they chose the easy one every time. It was a chance to prove they were smart. But the growth mindset kids, they were baffled. They literally couldn't understand the question. To them, the whole point was to learn something new, to be challenged, to grow. They didn't see difficulty as a threat, they saw it as an adventure. Okay, so understanding your mindset, that's the what. But knowing what isn't really enough, is it? We need the how. How do you actually put a growth mindset into practice, day to day? For that, we're going to need an operating manual for our minds. And that brings us to a really powerful, evidence-based way to make real change happen. And that manual is called Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, or CBT. Now, I know that sounds super clinical, but just think of it as a set of skills. It's a structured, practical way to become the boss of your own thought patterns. CBT is so effective because it gives you the actual tools you need to challenge those fixed mindset beliefs that can hold you back. At the very heart of CBT is this simple but incredibly powerful loop. It all starts with a thought. That thought then creates a feeling. That feeling drives you to a certain behavior. And this is the really crucial part. That behavior then reinforces the original thought you had. So a fixed mindset thought like, ugh, I'm just bad at math, leads to you feeling anxious, which leads to you avoiding studying, which, what do you know, reinforces the belief that you're bad at math. You see the trap? It's a vicious cycle. So the big question is, how do we break that cycle? Well, CBT gives us these 3 core steps. First, you just become aware. You learn to notice your automatic thoughts without judging them. Just observe. Second, you examine them. And this is a total game changer. Your thoughts are not facts. You have to question them, like a detective. Where is the actual evidence for this belief? And finally, you create alternatives. You start replacing those unhelpful, irrational beliefs with more rational, balanced ones. Now, that all sounds great in theory, right? But let's look at a specific, concrete tool you can use to put this into practice, like right now. It's called the downward arrow technique, and it's designed to help you dig all the way down to the root of those automatic thoughts. Okay, so here's how it works. You start with a simple automatic thought. Let's use the example from our source material. This house is a mess. Then you ask yourself a powerful question. Okay, if that's true, what does it mean about me? The answer might be, it means I'm a terrible caregiver. Then you do it again. And if that's true, what does it mean about me? Well, maybe the thought becomes, I'm a bad brother. You keep asking that question, and eventually you dig down to the core belief hiding underneath it all, which could be something as painful and huge as, I am a failure at everything. This technique is incredible because it shows you how a tiny, everyday thought can be connected to a deep, powerful belief, and once you can see it, you can start to challenge it. So, we've got the concept of mindset, and we've got the tools from CBT, but, it's not always quite that simple, is it? The world of science has been debating the real-world impact of mindset for a while now, and the results add this fascinating and really crucial layer of nuance to the whole story. This is the big question researchers have been wrestling with. We've all seen the headlines, right? But is adopting a growth mindset really some kind of magic key that just unlocks success for absolutely everyone no matter what? Well, the scientific answer, as it turns out, is a little more complicated than that. And by complicated, I mean it gets really interesting. We're talking about huge, nationally representative studies that have tested these ideas on a massive scale.
So we're moving way beyond small lab experiments to see how this stuff actually works out in the messy real world.
So check this out. This chart shows a key finding from one of those huge studies, the National Study of Learning Mindsets. Now, for the student population as a whole, a growth mindset intervention had a small but definitely noticeable effect. But here's the kicker. Look at that second bar. For students who were struggling more, the lower achieving students, the effect was significantly larger. This suggests that mindset is most powerful for people who are facing challenges and might be tempted to just conclude, I don't have what it takes. And this might be the most important finding of all. Your mindset doesn't operate in a vacuum. The research shows loud and clear that these interventions work way better when the environment actually supports them. I mean, if you're trying to believe you can grow, but your teachers, your boss, or your peers are constantly sending you the message that talent is fixed, well, you're fighting a serious uphill battle. Okay, so how do we put all these different pieces together? We have Dweck's powerful idea, we have the practical tools of CBT, and we have these really important, nuanced findings from the latest research. I think the best way to make sense of it all is with a simple, really memorable analogy. This right here is the key takeaway. Think of a growth mindset as a seed. It holds all the potential, it's powerful, it's essential, but on its own, it's not enough. A seed can't grow on concrete, right? It needs fertile soil. And that soil is your environment. The people around you, the culture at work or school, the opportunities you have, and the tools like the ones from CBT. That's the water and the sunlight that help that seed take root and actually grow. So let's wrap this all up into a game plan. Step 1, you gotta start with the growth mindset. That's your foundation, the core belief that change is even possible. Step 2, you use practical tools like the ones from CBT to actively challenge your thoughts and water that seed. And step 3, you have to recognize that your context, your environment absolutely matters. Nurturing that soil or finding better soil is what makes the change last. So I'll leave you with this final thought. Using a tool like that downward arrow technique, what is one automatic thought you have, one core belief about yourself that might just be holding you back? And what's one small step you can take to start questioning it today? Because the power isn't just in believing you can grow, it's in doing the work to make it happen.